Just incredible. Ellie joins us now, along with her mum, Joanne, and consultant paediatric neurosurgeon, Benedetta Petterini.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Ellie, it's just, I mean, here you are on national television, on Good Morning Britain, and can you even contemplate what you've been through? I mean, it's just, we've had some amazing guests on this show, but you've literally been operated on about 9-10 times. Part of your skull has been removed, put into your stomach. I mean, it just feels unreal. How does it feel to you?
Yeah, it's quite surreal to believe that it's gone from that living in hospital just like 9 months ago to now being out with my friends again, back at school, dancing again with my dance class, you know, at home, like here.
Yeah.
It's quite surreal.
Because looking at you, you wouldn't think for a minute that you've been through what you have been through. It's remarkable. I mean, we'll speak to Benedetta in a minute, but it's testament to her and her team's work, I suppose. Yeah. But take us back to the day you first went into hospital. What was going on?
Well, before that, because did you start to feel ill? How did you know that something was wrong? So
it was the May half-term of last year, and I'd gone to a fair on the Monday with my friend, and I'd come home feeling a bit sick, and I just put it down to the fact I'd been on fair rides that day. But then throughout the week, it just got worse and worse, and it went from, like, just a headache to not being able to stand the light to throwing up 15, 16 times a day.
Oh, my goodness. And is that when, Mum, Joanne, you were thinking, hold on, this isn't right, something's going on here?
She started, and she was like vomiting just 2 or 3 times at first for a couple of days, but then as the week went on, I just thought it was an initial 24-hour sickness bug like kids get, you know. But as the week went on, she progressively got worse instead of picking up. So by the end of the week, I'd taken her to the GPs once, but she did get worse. So by the end of the week, then I ended up taking her to phoning 111 and then taking her to A&E.
And then what happened then? What did they find?
So they did blood tests and they put her on fluids because she was, like, massively dehydrated by then. She did start to pick up a little bit when you went on your fluids, didn't you? But they did a MRI scan, I think, there, and it picked up this, just said a mass in the brain, that's all we were told.
So a mass in the brain.
A mass in the brain at first.
I mean, to hear that, though, what were you thinking? Because that...
Well,
it could potentially be devastating.
I was on my own sort of thing, and they sat me down in this little room and just said that, unfortunately, they picked up this mass in the brain and just your whole world just changed in a second.
Oh. And what do you remember about that,
Ellie? I don't remember anything about that. I don't remember going to A&E. I don't remember being at A&E. I don't remember travelling to Oldham in the ambulance.
Right. So what was the bit that you do remember? Did you just wake up?
Well, I remember before being ill, and then I also remember afterwards when I woke up in, like, the ward for the first time and just being really confused as to where I was, what was happening, like, why I was there. And, like, I couldn't talk, I couldn't move the left side of my body, so obviously I was just panicked, like...
And was that after an operation?
Yeah.
OK. And, yeah, Benedetta, coming to you then, because, you know, it was you and your team that were instrumental in getting through Ellie, you know, getting Ellie through this. There was a series of operations. How challenging was this, and how rare is it for this to happen?
Well, first of all the scans would tell you at the beginning was that she had a big clot. And at her age, you suspect there is what we call a vascular malformation. Could have been a tumour as well. So at the beginning, what you do is you need to do something to save her life. OK? So the first operation was to remove as much clot as we could, and then if you're lucky, you do one operation and everything is sorted, but in most cases, it needs more than one. You need to go back and refine what you've done in the first place. But what it then became challenging in her case is that despite we managed to decompress the clot very successfully, she still had very high raised pressure in the brain. And that's why we felt that then at one point we didn't have any choice than give the brain more space, and that's, you know, we took the skull off.
We just took the skull off. I mean, that is... When I read that last night, my notes was like, what?
And not only took it off, but you thought, we need to keep this somewhere. We're going to just pop it in her stomach for now. How does that work?
So among what we do, this is actually probably one of the easiest operations in neurosurgery, but because it's part of the operation that you do anyway. The difference is that because you plan, of course, to put the bone back, then you either actually throw the bone away. In some cases, you don't have a choice. But in her case, because everything was sterile and...
So you store it in the abdomen to keep it sterile
exactly. Yeah, it's a storage place, basically, and it's your body is the best place.
You've got great storage places in here.
How did that feel, Ellie, then, when you realised what had happened, the operation, you know, what it all meant? What was that like?
Well, at first I didn't really understand what was going on, but then I think when I first understood was when I was a bit more stable and conscious, and I was just like really shocked because, you know, it's not something you hear of every day.
No, certainly
it's
isn't.
definitely something that you don't expect you or anybody you know to happen to. So it was just
So then you had to literally, like a small child again, you have to learn to, what, walk again?
I had to learn to walk again, yeah, because I lost all the movement on the left side of my body, so I obviously then had to learn to weight bear again and then take
And
my
it's
first steps
still
again.
got some
Yeah,
issues
I still
there,
have a
but it's slowly
slight
getting
weakness.
better, is it?
Yeah.
And your speech as well, could you not talk at all?
No, not
Oh,
at
my
all.
And you had to learn to sort of use your mouth and talk. And, gosh,
Yeah.
right.
So at first I was communicating by, like, pointing out to letters on a board, spelling out, like, words to my mum.
But what an amazing recovery, though, Joanne. No, this is only May last year.
Yeah, so we're not even a year on yet.
Yeah.
You must be very proud then.
And
at
keen
how
to
far
dance
she's
again.
come.
And keen to
Yeah.
dance again.
Yes.
That's good. So you've been dancing again recently?
Well, I was back on a stage in March where I sang.
That's amazing.
I walked about. I didn't dance as such, but I did a
Right.
bit of movement and then
I think we
sang.
might have
Is
it.
this it here?
Is this it here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And how special was that? You're in the middle there. How special was that, being able to be a part of that again?
Just not only being back on a stage with all my friends again, but just being in the atmosphere of the theatre with all of my friends and, like, the makeup, the costumes, the hair, everything like that. It was amazing.
Because this is what you want to do, isn't
It's a
it?
career,
so
yeah.
for you, it must have been hard thinking, you know, can I get back to that? How is that
Yeah.
going to work? So what was it like when you then could get back onto the stage? How did
It
that
was
feel?
the best feeling in the world because for me it's not a hobby, it was my career path that I was going to go on to do.
You've got everything mapped out,
I
haven't
had
you?
my life mapped
Joanne,
out.
another story is you talked about the one day she was lying in the hospital bed and the Taylor Swift concert was on, and even then she had a little bit of a jiggle in bed.
Yeah, she couldn't talk or anything, but she did a sort of a
I need to.
Good for
because
you.
the nurses were like playing her the music on the
Well, it's-
iPads and
It's great to see you looking so well, and I know, you know, obviously it's down to Benedetta and her team, isn't it? What do you say? Because I know you two have got a bit of a special connection after all you've been through. What do you say to Benedetta about sort of the operation that her and the team did, the difference it's made to you?
Well, I'm just eternally grateful for them saving my life because I might not be here otherwise. To get back to my dancing, because I know it's obviously a shame that I can't dance currently, but at least I have the chance to get back there. So it could have been a lot worse, and I'm eternally grateful that I am where I am now.
And Benedetta, I know off air you said it was just a job, but my God, it's not just a job.
That's
You're
a job
an
and a
absolute
half,
hero.
that is.
I think it's good to acknowledge that not all our children have the same motivation that Ellie had. I must say, she pushed and pushed.
You had to get that operation done,
Yes.
right?
Well, we can see the determination,
Yeah.
Ellie. We look forward to, you know, welcoming you back when you're on the West End in a few years' time and interviewing you about
Brilliant.
that.
Absolutely
so
brilliant.
you've got a bright future ahead of you. It's great to meet you. Thanks very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Audrey.